What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today I will be doing a review on Truth or Square. Unfortunately, I did not have enough time yesterday to film my Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated video, so I will be filming that later on today when my dad gets home, so I can set up my camera so I can film my game, because I can film the game. So I'll film two parts today, and I'll be uploading both of those parts today and this afternoon. But right now, I'm going to be doing a review of SpongeBob SquarePants Truth or Square. SpongeBob SquarePants Truth or Square is a SpongeBob video game that came out in 2009 to celebrate 10 years of SpongeBob. So to celebrate 10 years of SpongeBob, they came out this special. And the special name was Truth or Square. So they released a special called Truth or Square that was meant for SpongeBob's 10th anniversary. Although the special wasn't as good as what people thought it was, I thought it was a very, very good special episode for SpongeBob to celebrate 10 years. Now, I do think the 20-year episode was better because this one, it didn't actually, in the episode, in the special, well, it doesn't have any recaps to older seasons of SpongeBob. It doesn't, show past memories of older seasons of SpongeBob's, which is a bit unfortunate in some parts. I wish it kind of had, more of a thing to reflect upon, on older episodes of SpongeBob, but unfortunately it didn't happen in the episode. But in the game, it actually would. The game was made by Heavy Iron Studios, and was the last one they've ever made. 5 years later, after they did the movie game 5 years previously, in Battle for Bikini Bottom 6 years previously. So the game revolves around Mr. Krabs having this anniversary party to celebrate the 77th anniversary of the Krusty Krab in SpongeBob's house. They did it in the Krusty Krab in the actual episode, but they decided to have a party in SpongeBob's house instead. So they had a party in SpongeBob's house, and Mr. Krabs gives SpongeBob the formula. So SpongeBob can watch after the formula while Mr. Krabs went to go do something. SpongeBob would put it in his back pocket and forget where he put the formula. He forgot where he put it. So SpongeBob could not remember where he put that formula. So and he was sad, and when he's sad, he can't remember things. So SpongeBob had to get happy in order to remember things. So they decided to reflect upon old memories, which all reference to an episode in the show. And the show does every single level. The game revolves around 10 levels, with each level having a memory based off of an episode. Nicer clutch. The first level is based around the episode Jellyfishing. Level 2 is based around meeting Sandy or tea at the Tree Dome. The third level is based on No Weenies Allowed. Fourth level is based on Help Wanted. Level 5 is based on Christmas Who. Level 6 is based on Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Level 7 is based on Just One Bite. And level 8 is based on the Graveyard Shift. Level 9 is based on Karate Choppers. And then level 10 is based on the episode Plankton. So those are the 10 levels that you can play in this game. And each level has a certain location. There's 2 Jellyfish Fields levels for levels 1 and 4. We have Salty Spittoon as a level area for the Robo Patrick boss fight. There's also the Mermalair, the Krusty Krab freezer, what it looks like, rock bottom, and downtown Bikini Bottom for the final boss fight. So there's a lot of good, cool levels here in this game. And I really like how Heavy Iron based this game around past memories of the show and not make up random memories like in the actual special did, like SpongeBob and Sandy getting married. Like, that didn't ever happen. So I did like what Heavy Iron did with this game. If only the episode was like that. This game is available on a lot of different consoles, such as Xbox 360, DS, and the PlayStation, and the PSP and Wii U. Which is kind of unfortunate this game was not on anything like PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. I wish this game was on those consoles, but unfortunately it wasn't. So this game kind of just missed out on console on the variety of consoles that other SpongeBob games did. Like Battle for Bikini Bottom in the movie game being on all PlayStation, GameCube, and Xbox, and DS, and PC. I wish it was more like that, but unfortunately, it's not. And of how I discovered this game exactly. Oh, also, there's something I need to talk about the PSP version. The PSP version is a bit different than the Xbox and Wii U versions. The PSP version, it has very low graphics, and dialogue. Characters don't even. Sorry, I'm tired. Now, in the dialogue, in PSP, the characters don't move their mouth. There are some cutscenes cutscenes at the end of the levels or before boss fights. Fights is the only where they actually use cutscenes from from the console versions, Wii U and Xbox. So, yeah, and also something about the PSP I wish was on the main console version was the PSP, he had 13 levels instead of 10, the same exact amount as Battle for Bikini Bottom. And there's even there's more levels. There was a level based around. There's a level in downtown Bikini Bottom rooftops that was based upon on the talent show episode. I'm gonna say America's Got Talent, but that's not it. Culture Shock. There's an episode, and there's a level based on that, and then there's another one in the Krusty Krab, where I had to basically refight all the mini bosses in the game. So that was interesting stuff they did with the PSP version. I wish those other levels were on the console, Wii U, and Xbox versions. By far, the best-selling version of this game has to be the Wii U version on an emulator. Then the Xbox and the PSP, and then the DS version of this game. In my opinion, this game is really fun. How I discovered the game is back during the summer of 2018 before school started. I discovered this game through Kayona Kukera. And I saw him playing the game. So I decided on the PSP version, so I watched it like the night before school. Before the first day of school, I was watching the PSP version of the game. Which in my opinion, I thought was a bit better, cause the PSP version, and 1, looks easier, and 2, all the Tiki challenges, you can actually do them while you're going through the level the first time instead of having to come back. I wish they did that with the console version. And so, I've watched that game a few times. I discovered the Xbox version. I didn't find as much interest in it at the time as much as the PSP version. And then later on that year, for Christmas Eve 2018, I would later on get Truth or Square. I'd play it during the spring break of 2019 for the first time. And I did a practice run first before my first time ever playing through. I was able to get through on the first level, and then it was time to start my walkthrough of it that I was doing during the spring break. I would ease my way through the first 2 levels. So, jellyfishing with Patrick and meeting Sandy. I would ease through the first 3 levels. Then it would be time for level 4, the Krusty Krab, becoming a fry cook, and Santa. I went through those 2 levels and I struggled. Mainly with the Tiki challenges, I struggled with them. To where after that, I just gave up. I gave up with the game. I gave up included. But that wouldn't last long though. 2 years later, in 2021, I was doing my summer walkthroughs of 4 SpongeBob games. Being Employee of the Month, Movie Game on PC, Truth or Square, and Rehydrated. So I decided to do Truth or Square during summer 2021 to try to beat it. Originally, this game I was not originally on planning to not film the walkthrough. But I would eventually film the walkthrough and it would get uploaded to YouTube. This would be my first SpongeBob walkthrough I did on YouTube, and the first game I ever completed a walkthrough on YouTube. But this is not the first game I 100%ed on YouTube, because my first game I actually 100%ed on YouTube, who through a walkthrough, was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. That would be completed a few months later. So I would beat the game casually just by going through the levels one time, and not worry about coming back to get the happiness object. So I didn't want to 100% the game. I didn't want to 100% the game just yet. But then 1 year later, during the summer of 2022, we would come back and we would 100% and beat the game. And get all the happiness objects, which would be the first time I would have ever done so, as I've never played this game 100%. Now, I don't get anything for 100%ing the game. You don't get, like, all the characters singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song like you would in Battle for Bikini Bottom. You didn't get, like, some Goofy Goober theme over a bunch of images like in the movie game. You didn't get any of that stuff. You just, instead, there's nothing that really happens. You just unlock, like, some cheat codes, maybe. For collecting all the happiness objects, or some concept art. Also, by the way, there's some other stuff and collectibles in this game besides the happiness objects. Happiness objects are items that are based around certain episodes in the show. Like, let's say, some hot sauce from the Karate Choppers episode, or a golden spatula that Plankton gave us, or a bunch of other stuff. Or that clarinet SpongeBob gifted to Squidward. So those are all the happiness objects. So that's basically what the happiness objects are. There's other collectibles like the Sleeping Patricks, which can unlock you cheats. There are a total of what is there, like 7? Yeah, there's a total of 7 Sleeping Patricks in the game. Then find across all the levels. So what you have to do to find Sleeping Patricks is you'll just need to find some sort of box crate that's a bit big, break it, and boom, you have found a Sleeping Patrick. So you can find them all across all the levels. You can find them most of the time on your first round through the levels, except for Kelp Forest 1. Except for the first Kelp Forest level. Then there's the concept art packs, which almost look like Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, Krabby Deluxe packs that you saw in that one episode. With the Plankton's Mind Control Stand shampoo, those are practically a collectible where you can get those. There's 3 of them in all the main platforming levels and not boss levels. Two of them you can just find scattering around, and the other one can be found through a Tiki challenge where I have to fight a bunch of robots and survive for a bunch of time. And in fact, robots are the main source of enemies in this game. Just like in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like how almost in a lot of SpongeBob games, the only enemies in most SpongeBob games are just robots. I can see robot enemies in Rehydrated, Hero Pants, Planes Erotic Revenge, Truth or Square, Battle for Bikini Bottom. Wow, in probably almost every game in SpongeBob game, the enemies are just robots. So robots are the main source of enemies in this game. All that happiness coins are probably like those shiny objects. You can use them to buy costumes. There's something cool in this game where you can actually buy costumes. There's a bunch of different costumes you can buy. I know for the treasure chest in the movie game, you could get costumes. You could get costumes in the treasure chest in the movie game. Only for SpongeBob and Patrick. But in this game, you can get costumes for not just SpongeBob and Patrick, but also for Sandy, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Gary. Even though Mr. Krabs and Gary aren't really playable in this game. Gary, Mr. Krabs you can see across some levels, like the Becoming a Fry Cook level. You can see him across that level. You'll see him in that level, but you don't see Mr. Krabs in any of the other levels in this game. The only areas you really see him in is in the final boss cutscene. The final boss cutscene in SpongeBob's house, which is the hub area of this game. The hub area in this game is SpongeBob's Pineapple. That's where you can find and get to all the levels by. Most of the levels are entered in by just talking to characters about certain memories. Yeah, that's how you get into most levels. Or if you want to backtrack, go to this book that's in the center of SpongeBob's living room. Just go there and you can select and go to any level you want. Also with this game, something that kind of find a kind of bit annoying with this game is the fact of water. That's really, I think everything is really good about this game. It's a pretty good game. I mean, it's not as long as Battle for Bikini Bottom. I mean, it kind of can be repetitive as you're just battling through robots through most of the game. But I think it's a pretty solid game. It has really good graphics. Really, really good graphics, especially for playing on a Wii U emulator. That is a really amazing graphics. But the game just, it's not as polished as movie or Battle for Bikini Bottom, as touching water almost means you almost instantly are gonna die. Unlike in Battle for Bikini Bottom or movie game, you just get bounced back, and it's kind of hard to die in water in those games unless you choose to. But in this game, if you touch water, you're practically gonna die. There's no escaping. So water can be a bit annoying with the deaths in this game. Also with the voice actor, this is the second Heavy Iron game that this happened to, but Mr. Krabs' voice actor did not appear. I can't remember who his voice actor was in this game. I don't think it was Joe White. I can't remember who it was though, but Mr. Krabs' voice actor, Clancy Brown, did not appear in this SpongeBob game. I like how he didn't appear in Battle for Bikini Bottom. I don't know what it is with Heavy Iron not appearing in SpongeBob video games. Like, he never appears in any SpongeBob video games. I mean, he appeared in most of them, but he didn't appear in Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated, and Truth or Square. He unfortunately could not appear, and hopefully he'll be back for Cosmic Shake. But all the other voice cast is here. At least we've got Mermaid Man this time. As the actual voice actor, being Ernest Borgnine, compared to having Joe White in 6 years ago in Battle for Bikini Bottom as Joe White. So it's nice we have the Mermaid Man voice actor. We got all the other voice actors reprising their roles. We have Tom Kenny, Roger Bumpus, Carolyn Lawrence, Bill Fagerbell, Ernest Borgnine, Tim Conway. Whoever voices Karen, Mr. Lawrence is back to voice Plankton. So we got all the voice actors except for Mr. Krabs. That was the only one we didn't get. Also in this game, you also guys have a bunch of special power-ups in this game, and which is nice. Kind of like in the movie game, how you can upgrade your power-ups, such as you can upgrade them as Patrick, and you can upgrade some of Patrick's moves in the movie game. Well, you can have power-ups in this game. There's a rainbow power-up where it makes SpongeBob invincible, to where he can't take damage. So that's a power-up with a muscles power-up, which makes SpongeBob really muscular and strong. And there's also power-ups where you can change his characters, where SpongeBob will be used as almost like some sort of weapon in all the other characters. We have Patrick, who's playable, Sandy, and for the second time or third time ever in a SpongeBob video game, Squidward is playable. You can also play as Plankton as a co-op. There's a co-op mode where you can play as Plankton. He can destroy some of the enemies. But I've never done that before. And I don't think we ever will unless I decide to maybe replay through Truth or Square for some reason, which I don't think I will. So Patrick, when you play as him, when you turn into a power-up, SpongeBob becomes a hammer, and Patrick just smashes stuff with using SpongeBob as a hammer. And then when you play as Sandy probably, and almost all these characters are invincible. Sandy has a power where SpongeBob turns into karate gloves, and she uses them to chop through stuff. Mainly some flower things, where if you jump on them, you will get trapped inside them. Kind of reminds me of some real-life plant that will catch flies, but I can't remember what that plant is called. And Sandy's the only character that can destroy these. Patrick, SpongeBob, or Squidward, or Plankton also cannot destroy them. So that's what Sandy can do, and she can also chop the robots. Squidward just turns SpongeBob into a clarinet. And then Squidward uses SpongeBob almost like as a weapon of the clarinet, where he shoots water balloons out of his clarinet to destroy robots. So that's the so those are the power-ups you can use for SpongeBob and for all the other characters, for SpongeBob and Patrick and Squidward and Sandy. So those are all the power-ups that there are in this game. There's also other different kinds of moves in this game for SpongeBob. SpongeBob has a bunch of cool moves, such as he can slam and look like a spatula. Well, he can slam. He has a spin attack where he uses his hands, unlike using bubble wands or karate gloves in the previous two Heavy Iron games. SpongeBob can also shoot water balloons out of what almost seems like looks like a cannon. So he can shoot. So you can shoot water balloons, and then also SpongeBob can become inflatable like this, so you can absorb up sponges or Mrs. Puff Tikis. And then the last thing is SpongeBob can almost go on what almost looks like, if you remember Gummy, he almost can go on that. He can almost turn into, get on this Gummy thing, which you can use as a stick, this kind of sticky, so you can travel to another place. I like how Sandy could glide, or almost like a Patrick Teeter-Totter almost, or Sandy flying in BFBB. Patrick using his tongue. They're probably like swinging hooks or ice cubes from movie game or BFBB. Also, you can upgrade your health in this game, like what you could in the other two SpongeBob games. Battle for Bikini Bottom, you just upgrade your health by finding golden underwear throughout Bikini Bottom. And in the movie game, you just upgrade your Krabby Patties. But in this game, you can upgrade them as well by going to SpongeBob's Closet, where you can also buy all the costumes. Is there anything else in this game? Also, there's also a bunch of cool different tiki designs in this game. If you guys remember the crates and tikis from Battle for Bikini Bottom, they come back in this game, but they represent characters. There's a regular plankton one, which is the most common. If you remember the stone tikis from BFBB, you can see those just as Squidwards, that there's like probably hovering and floating Flying Dutchman tikis, regular Plankton tikis, Stone Squidward tikis, the Mrs. Puff tikis, which you have to use by blowing as things better go in the bathtub and make him super absorbed so he can destroy them by pouring water out onto the Mrs. Puff tikis. There's also Mr. Krabs tikis, which explode when you touch them. And those are all the tikis. So you have Squidward, Mr. Krabs, the Flying Dutchman, Squidward Plankton, Mr. Krabs, the Flying Dutchman, and Mrs. Puff tikis. So those are the only two ways you see those two make appearances through cameo, kind of the Flying Dutchman and Mrs. Puff in this game. Also, something about this game is I kind of find the character choices in this game to be kind of bland. Like, we don't have any Bubble Buddy, Mrs. Puff. Like, it's unlike Employee of the Month or Battle for Bikini Bottom, where I have a wide variety of characters to kind of talk to. And in this game, you practically only have SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and Gary, Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, and that's it. And you don't have any other characters like Larry, Mrs. Puff, Bubble Buddy, the Flying Dutchman as characters in this game. Pearl. There was more characters in this game, but I think the character choice we have in this game is pretty good. Overall, it's just a very solid game. I'd have to give this game a 6 out of 10. It has a pretty good soundtrack as well. We're using soundtracks from the show, the movie game, and BFEB. Like, it does use some movie game soundtracks, such as I'm Ready, Depression, and the SpongeBall or Floating Block Arenas. And I think that's all in the movie game. And the sliding music in the movie game is also in this game. For Battle for Bikini Bottom, we have the Bikini Bottom theme is in this. Jellyfish Fields Downtown theme is in this. A bunch of other the Goo Lagoon theme is used. So is Rock Bottom. Mermalaires. The Mermalaire theme is also in this game. We do have the sliding music is in this game. The Kelp Forest music and the Chum Bucket Lab music and the Poseidon theme are also used in this game. I kind of wish we could have heard SpongeBob's Dream music be used in a level, but unfortunately that just couldn't happen. But I have to say, all the soundtrack being reused from BFBB and the movie game was pretty good and pretty solid. So that's practically everything I can practically say on this game. Pretty good game, 6 out of 10. Nice character choices. Nice that we have all the voice actors except for Clancy Brown. Nice to have Ernest Borgnine one time in a SpongeBob game. Pretty nice game, reflecting on old memories of SpongeBob. Great soundtrack, great physics and gameplay. Nice that there's costumes in this game. Nice multiplayer mode. We're in co-op mode with Plankton. And so yeah, this is overall a pretty good game. I'll give this game a 6 out of 10. Not as good as Battle for Bikini Bottom or my previous year reviews of Battle for Bikini Bottom and Employee of the Month. But this would be a very, very solid title. And that'll be it for today's video. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you all next time.